Hi, Soothsayer. One too many. One too many blueberries in this smoothie. Huh. Wow. Hold on, one moment. Okay. Wow, I haven't been to a proper deli in a very long time. Hello, Dark Row. Good morning. just a fruit smoothie. There's a lot of fruit in it. Strawberries and blueberries. Orange and kiwi and bananas. I think that's it. Hi, Enigma. Oh, I remember you, Enigma. Thank you for the shirt comment. Compliment? Both? I went on tour with Slow Magic 3 years ago, and I didn't have any merch to give him, unfortunately. But usually when you tour with somebody, you guys just like trade merch a bunch. Yeah, I didn't have anything to give him. Hello, gamer. Andin? Do you play piano by any chance, gamer? The lights are working. Yeah, if you enjoy the stream at all, or if you're just in the stream, please give it a like. I would appreciate it. It does help me. This next song is called French Lavender. Oh, is it really early for you, Jordan? Me music. You know, gamer, somebody called me a meme musician not too long ago. People used to call me that a lot, so it's funny to hear that. Hello, Sandasty. Welcome to Morning Medley number 115. Yes, 115. Oh, word up, Red. How long ago was that? Word up. Guess that was a while ago, huh? How expensive is LA, homie? What do you mean? When you say how expensive is LA, what specifically are you asking me? See the problem? Living, food, drink bills. I don't know, Enigma. A lot of people think of LA as just like a city or like a small region. LA is very big. One of the largest cities, not even just population wise, but literally space wise in the country. And so the question you're asking, there's like a huge range in there, right? If you're asking how much is food, it's like you can get a sandwich for $2, or you can spend $25 on a sandwich depending on where you go. If we're talking about rent, you can have rent that, I mean, if you're renting like a studio apartment, like in the confines of LA, you can have rent that costs $500, or you can have rent that costs $5,000. And it's a very big city, and there's a huge range, of where to be. A lot of people don't even refer to LA. Like, usually people only use the term LA when they're talking to people that don't live in LA, and so don't know the different neighborhood names. But it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm moving to LA. It's very, very segregated and divided up. It's like, oh, I live in Echo Park, or oh, he lives in Hollywood, or so and so lives in Beverly Hills. They live in Santa Monica. They live in East LA, which is actually its own city. Like, East LA has a city hall. East LA City Hall, East LA Police Department. Or maybe like I live in Downey, I live in Bernie, I live in Alhambra, Monterey Park. You get the point that I'm making. All these are LA, and they are all drastically different as far as like rent and how much food is going to cost and how much bills are going to cost. Yeah. I don't know if that answers your question though, Enigma. Just asking because LA has a pretty big class wealth gap. Oh, okay, that's perfect. I'm glad that you brought that up. That's why it's impossible to answer your question, Enigma. There's a huge gap, right? Because there's people that live here that live a lot more meager than I do. And then, I mean, like Will Smith or something lives here. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say how expensive it is in LA because it's a city. It's a huge city, right? So there are some people here that are billionaires, and there are some people here that are like, I'm not gonna count homelessness in this, in the answer to this question, because I feel like if you're asking how much it costs, you're talking about bills, and the homeless population in LA aren't exactly counted when it comes to like, oh, how much does rent cost, because they're not paying rent. So I'm not gonna count them, but there are a lot of people that are way further down on the totem pole than Will Smith is, So it's kind of impossible to answer. I can say per capita, like an average, LA, it's more expensive. It's more expensive to live in LA than it would be to live in like Reno, Nevada, just on average, because even the nice downtown, I don't know, I don't live in Reno, but even like the nice downtown loft or apartment still isn't going to come to what the downtown nice loft apartment in Los Angeles is. There is going to be a difference. But you can live in LA, without being absorbently wealthy. It's just, it's a city, just like any other, I guess. Sorry, the answer wasn't more concise and easy. Good morning, Tony. Welcome to Morning Medley number 115. I have played a medley of music, by this point in the stream. I played French Vanilla. I'm gonna play a. Double X, I guess. Ooh. Sorry. in it all the time. Retro. I make the same smoothie. I don't know if you've looked at any of my smoothie videos, but the same recipe that was in all the other ones. Does anybody else get like a slightly scratchy throat from eating kiwi? Kiwi, like kiwi fruit? Because there is kiwi in the smoothie, Retro. Do you make smoothies, Retro? Word up, Retro. Yeah, I peeled them and still they make my like tongue and throat feel kind of weird. It's not great, but it's going. Cyber. Thanks for asking. Retro says, "Do you still play the subway station?" No, I don't take the subway right now. There's nowhere to go. Retro, I only played at the subway station when I was like on my way to something, and right now all the things I would have been on my way to are closed. So no, I haven't even been to the subway station since like that one anyway. I want to say early February. I'm not even gonna try to early Feb. Also, I feel like even if I went, the piano would probably be closed because of what we're all doing right now. I feel like that piano is just a giant germ cesspool on a good day. Um, that song is called Jump It, Jaybird. Jalapeno popper. You know, I've never actually had a jalapeno popper. They never interested me. Interested me? Yes. Jalapeno poppers and mozzarella sticks are like two things that I feel like always kind of went hand in hand. Like they were bar food, things that are offered at bars, but both things that like were never appetizing to me. Appetizing. Playing piano really terribly out of tune while I'm watching this, and it's really off-putting. I'm sorry, Enigma. Should I play piano erratically and out of tune also to match? That way, at least there's some synchronicity. Are you asking me if I've been keeping in touch with my family, Leona? Hmm. Um. Yes. No. I don't know. I'm never technically keeping in touch with my family. I have a very big family, Leona, so I don't actually talk to them like regularly. I talk to my mom. And talk to my dad occasionally. I'll call my parents every now and then, but I don't talk to like my family. I don't talk to my brothers and sisters. Not one on one. Not often at all. So I guess the answer to that question is nothing has changed. Retro respects the metal straw. Gotta take care of the environment. That's not really why I use it, but it does do some small part in taking care of the environment. The reason I use a metal straw is because I like drinking cold things out of metal straws because the straw gets really cold. That's it. That's the only reason. Also, I just like things that are reusable, I guess. Like tote bags and whatever. I guess that is like an earth thing. Do I like that because of the environment, or do I like that just because I like reusing things? I think I just like reusing things. I don't like creating trash. See, it makes it sound like I care about the environment. I'm not really like a environment person. I just don't like creating garbage. Like it makes me feel weird. When I keep having to reuse stuff, I like, or the opposite of that. When I keep having to like use things and toss them and buy more things, I like reusing things. And so I like it when things are like super super durable. Um. Anyways, yeah, cold straw's fun. Cold straw's fun. Like the stream guys, if you get a chance, appreciate it. Cyber says, speaking of food, I drove by a Hooters the other day, and they're doing takeout, and I got to thinking, what's the point? I don't know anyone who goes to Hooters for food. Ooh, Cyber, I went to Hooters for the food. I know you don't want to believe me, but in Arizona, there is a street called Mill Avenue that's like on the campus of ASU. This is where I hung out a lot because, well, college. And there's a bar on the corner, or there was a bar on the corner. The building's still there. I don't know what it is now. It was always getting changed, but it was called like Game On or Game Over or End Game or Game Time. And it was a bar that had like arcade games in it. Very, very cliche for like a college campus. But above it was a Hooters. And my friend was obsessed with Hooters. And I went there and I didn't like anything there. But they had like it was a limited thing. It was a limited thing. I don't think they have them anymore, but it was like a special like Chipotle boneless wing, whatever. I don't know. It was chicken and it was boneless, and and it was like also cheap. It was like a special, and I remember going up and getting those, and I was like, oh my god, this is like actually really good and really cheap, like McDonald's level prices. And so I started like between classes, I would just like call ahead and order like takeout Hooters, and then I would go pick up my Hooters. I'd go pick up my chicken. I'd go pick up my chicken and then take my take my skateboard and ride to like there's this big river. Holy crap! My life's changed. Anyways, there's this big river that the light rail would go over. There was like a bunch of train tracks, and I would sit under the like bridge of the train and just eat chicken and watch the train and like listen to music. And yeah, wasn't hanging out with anybody. That was just I would do that for like I would like eat the chicken, then I would just keep laying there for like an hour, just watching the train go by. What was wrong with me? I really had nothing better to do. Um, Arizona's boring, guys. Don't go. Don't go unless you're just looking for cheap rent and dry heat. And come on, there's got to be Grand Canyon. I don't know, big holes in the ground, casinos. Anyway, so I was for a very limited time going to Hooters technically just for the food, but I don't understand. I don't want to talk about why I don't understand Hooters. I don't want to talk about it, but I have a lot of questions about Hooters in 2020. I would like to go into a Hooters in 2020. Well, when all this is over, I would like to go into Hooters and just like look around and see who's in there and what their thing is, like what they look like, what they're talking about, how they're dressed. I don't know what the Hooters demographic is really, you know. Everywhere to buy fried chicken is closed, says Enigma. Oh, okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, Enigma. I'm so glad you brought that up. I was on Twitter yesterday and somebody was like, oh my god, when this is all over, I can't wait to eat a big bowl of ramen and have boba. It was on Twitter. It was a friend that I thought lived in LA, and I was like, I feel like my boba consumption has like tripled since this whole thing started. Like I get boba almost every day now, whereas it used to be like maybe a couple times a week. And they replied to me, where on earth are you getting boba? They're all closed. And I was like, oh, I think when I think most places in LA are open. I feel like most places in most big cities are open. They're just not letting, people come in and chill. And so I didn't realize that there are some people that legit just can't have things. Like I can have things. Like if I want chicken, it's like, oh, Popeyes is open. I don't eat KFC, but KFC is also open. There's also Tokyo Fried Chicken is open, There's a lot of chicken places around here open. So I'm saying Churches is open. And then if I want ramen, like all the ramen places are open. If I want boba, all the boba places are open. Everything's open. I just can't sit in there and eat. And so I haven't actually been missing specific foods. It's just more activities that I miss. So the people that are missing out on foods, I really feel for you because I'm not there. I didn't realize that that was like people were just missing out on whole entire like food items. Now I feel like literally the only thing we can do is eat. Like the only thing I feel like I'm legally allowed to do is eat. So I've just been eating constantly. Soothsayer was pretty relaxing. There's a band that I used to listen to a lot called Neba, Neba. They were like a local Arizona band. I would just listen to their music and like. You ever do that thing where you listen to really aggressive music and you like fantasize about yourself like beating up a bunch of people? The UK is desolate, says Enigma. Everything that is not a supermarket is closed. Jesus, yikes. Exxon Bites Crispy Crunchy Chicken is still open and is down the street. Liana, our lives are very similar. There's a Crispy Crunchy down the street from me too. I haven't eaten it since the quarantine started. I don't like that Crispy Crunchy doesn't have a spicy option, but I do like their biscuits. Okay. This next song is called Love Letters. I feel like I was in the middle of playing something and I stopped. Oh, never mind. It was Sprite Street. I'll finish this and I'll play Love Letters. I would like to hope so, Soothsayer. I've actually been cooking more in the past week, which has been satisfying, says Liana. Me too. Good morning, Pixel Piggy. I finally went grocery shopping yesterday so I can do some more cooking, says Maddie. I went grocery shopping yesterday too. I walked to Sprouts. Wait, was that yesterday? Yeah, oh my god, that was. I thought I. My days are going together and I don't even care anymore. I'm not even gonna try to pull them apart. I'm just gonna keep living in this weird temporal freaking rubber band ball that is my life now. song's called Spring Street. Oh, this song is fun again. What video games have you been playing? None. The most recent game I played was Control. It wasn't that long ago. Maybe a month ago? I love that game, though. The game is so good. That was the last game that I played. Probably won't play another game until I get the remake of Final Fantasy VII. But I don't really want to play it yet, so I'm still waiting on that. Is hair like your hard to wash? Is hair like mine hard to wash? What is hard? I've only ever had hair like mine. I've never washed, like, say, a white person's hair or an Asian person's hair, so I don't know if it's hard to wash. I think washing hair in general is annoying and not something that is fast. That's hard. I don't know. Hard. This is hard to wash. It takes a while. It takes a long time. Maybe if I had like a buzz cut. I don't even know if people with buzz cuts do wash their hair. I assume they do. It would probably take less time. It's time consuming. Also, I'll say that, Enigma. Good question. song's called Winter Heart. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Oh, hold on. I'm getting somewhere. Oh, I found it. Bunched kind of like rope. Um, are you asking me if that's why it takes a long time to launch? Sure, yes. Yes? Bunched kind of like rope is so funny. Funny, man, I don't know why. Did you play Kingdom Hearts? I know you're a big fan of that franchise. It would be so wild if the answer to that question was no. If the answer to that question was no, if you're like, I know you're a big fan of it, I'm like, I am a big fan of it. Haven't gotten around to playing it. I love Sora. I don't play the games though. Ew, icky. No, I played all the games. They're great. They're fun. Hmm. I have my gripes with the writing, but I think that I have my gripes with all of the writing in every um, Square game. Oh, you meant to say Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, then yes, I have also played Kingdom Hearts 3. Being a fan of the franchise. Am I gonna sneeze? Okay. Sorry, I live really rural where everyone is white, so I know little about other quote unquote races. That's fine. It's not quotes. It is quotes. That's fine, Enigma. That is absolutely fine. What rural area do you live in? Are you in Iowa? I've never met anybody that lives in Wyoming. Ugh, I want to go to Wyoming. I imagine flights to Wyoming right now are so cheap, but I imagine also going to Wyoming right now is probably scarier than it usually would be. Have you beat Kingdom Hearts 3 on critical? Nah, I didn't see the point. I played Kingdom Hearts 3 on like normal, whatever the normal difficulty was, and I beat it and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I haven't picked it up or touched it or put it back into my PlayStation or messed with any DLC or whatever since then. I played through the game and then I shelved it. So no, I have not beat it on critical. Pixel Piggy. Countryside in the south of England. Ah, England. That's right. Oh, wow. Hey, Enigma, have you ever heard of a place called Derby? Derby? Derbyshire? Derby? That's not very pro gamer of you, says Pixel Piggy. There's a very specific reason why I didn't play Kingdom Hearts on critical. Kingdom Hearts on critical isn't actually well made, Pixel Piggy. I'm not going to go into details, but there's a way to make a game difficult by going into like the logistics of the game, how the game is played, and maybe making the AI a little bit smarter or doing like things like that. Making like your attacks maybe don't have as much priority or something like that. There's like ways to make a game more difficult like that. And there's a way of making a game more difficult just by scaling up boss defense and offense so that you're just chipping away at things incessantly and then their hits do a bunch. And that's what Kingdom Hearts on critical feels like. So there was no point in me going through the game on critical. It wasn't going to give me any more rewards or make me like feel good. That's what it is. Playing some games on a very hard difficulty makes me feel like I'm better at the game. Playing Kingdom Hearts on critical doesn't make me feel like I'm good at Kingdom Hearts. It just makes me feel like I'm wasting my time. What's another game that does that? Since we're talking about that now. There's definitely other games I've done that because there's been times where I've been playing a game on a harder difficulty and I'm just like, this is stupid. I don't even feel like I'm getting good at the game. I feel like I'm just trying to like break the game in order to win, which is I don't know. I don't like feeling like I'm breaking the game. You know when like you're playing a game and the boss is like a boss is really hard, and so you kind of cheese it. Like maybe the boss gets like stuck on a corner, and so you just kind of keep wailing at it while it's sitting there. I don't feel good playing a game like that. It doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel. I don't know how it makes me feel. Um, Bored. Yes, Dark Souls. I think this is Dark Souls 2. Word. Um, Retro says, have you played Spider-Man on the PS4? I have, Retro. I would actually say I enjoyed Spider-Man more than I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts. As like a die-hard Kingdom Hearts fan who has like played through all those games several times except for 3, and um, followed the story and like way like years back was like reading Ansem reports on the internet to try to like get some type of cryptic pseudo sub story. I would say that I enjoyed Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4 more than Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PlayStation 4. Um, but yeah, that is a very good game, Retro. Very good game. It could have been better, but what game couldn't have been better? Hmm. Hello, Isidore. Oh, Isidore's here. I think was that Skrillex did good on his Kingdom Hearts track. Um, Word. I would say that the theme for 3 was the out of the 3 of them, right? Out of like Simple and Clean, Sanctuary, and Face My Fears, this third one. I liked it the least. I liked it. I would say I liked it the least out of the 3, but it doesn't mean it's a bad song. You're right. He did do good on the Kingdom Hearts track. It's just I do not enjoy it um, at all. Actually, at all. I have never played that. I'll say this: I'll never played that song on my own. Like after Kingdom Hearts 1, like I think I listened to Simple and Clean like a million times. People were putting it in AMVs and stuff, and then like Sanctuary came out. People were putting that in videos. We loved Sanctuary. We were doing like covers of it, and then Face My Fears came out, and everybody was just like, cool, chill. Uh, cool. I found a Goodwill auction for 922 pounds of Xbox consoles. What on earth? A cardboard box with the original Xbox and 360s and stuff? It's so weird. Simple and Clean is really good. Simple and Clean is really good. But also, I think it suffers. Sanctuary is also very good, or Passion, or whatever. It's really good. I think it suffered from sophomoreism. Like when a band releases their first album, then they have to follow up with a second album. Usually, people kind of critically pan it, and it's not fair. And it's not fair for a lot of reasons. I can get into in this stream if you want me to, but I'm going to just skip over it for right now. But the third one felt disingenuous. Simple and Clean into Sanctuary made a lot of sense, and it felt like, oh, I get it. And then Sanctuary into Face My Fears felt like, oh, you just like got Utada and paired her up with a talented, prolific, like electronic music producer and said, make a banger. And it didn't feel informed by the series at all. This is like nerd talk, but Sometimes a score for me needs to feel informed by the series, but I'm extra sensitive to that stuff because I make scores for things. So yeah. Man says 922 pounds of consoles. I don't quite understand why it's only at $500. Maybe because it's Xbox and everybody hates Xbox. It didn't even feel like a beta. No. It didn't. It didn't, Leon. Make no mistake. I'm not saying it was one. I'm saying I feel like that's what was in the request order. It's like make us a banger. This is what the kids like, right? Might just be because I followed dubstep artists and Skrillex for very long. Oh, so, I mean, same. Me too. Um, but I still don't think the two things need to have been together. You know, right? Like I love fried chicken. Who doesn't love fried chicken? I love fried chicken. Also, I've been a long-standing fan of pizza, but I'm also one of the people on the outside that doesn't like fried chicken on pizza. I think that I can love them both separately. I love Skrillex. I love like dubstep too. It's just I feel like the Kingdom Hearts thing wasn't naturally going there. I feel like they just like smashed them together. One could argue that that's the nature of Kingdom Hearts because I don't think that Disney and Square were naturally I don't think people were waiting for that crossover, and I mean it happens. And some could argue that it works. I could also get into why I feel like it doesn't necessarily. I love Kingdom Hearts, but I feel like the Disney aspect of Kingdom Hearts is its weakest ingredient, and I feel like the only reason Disney stuff is there is so that they don't have to world build. Because I think that, like No Man's Sky, if they had to build a completely original world every single time you went to one, it would have taken a lot more time than if they were just given wholesale assets like here is Tarzan, build a jungle and then make Tarzan in it, and then like you already have your villain. It's the freaking little saber tooth thing. You already have or leopard. What was it? Leopard, cougar. Anyways, and it's like you go into I don't know Alice in Wonderland. You already have your allied character. You have your worlds. You have your villain. Just felt like a pre-made house, like homes almost, like those things that are outside of Home Depot. It's like a pre-made like little house. I find this more commonly. Artists that makes happy or chill music that love to produce. Okay, let me back up. Enigma says, might just be because I follow dubstep and artists and Skrillex for very long. I find this more commonly. Artists that make happy or chill music love love or produce dubstep. Uh, Artists that make happy or chill music that love produce dubstep. I think Enigma that there is a big iceberg, and you are seeing the top part that's above the water, but then there's this big part that's underneath the water that helps it float. It's helping it float. No, your phrasing's fine. Enigma. I think I understand what you're saying. Where it's like, oh, people that make like cute and bubbly and fun chill music tend to like or also create dubstep. I think it's just artists are, for the most part, pretty varied, right? If you talk to any artist, if you talk to an artist that makes country music, there's a good chance you're going to find out that they find merits in or enjoy electronic music or heavy metal or something like that. Usually, if you're on the side of the creator, if you're on the creationist side of the fence, where you are making something, you are way more vulnerable or sensitive to um, the qualities in other art. You're able to pull it and see it for what it really is instead of like a surface value. Like people might listen to a song and go, this too loud, or like this is too fast. I don't like this. Ew. He's talking about big booty hoes in this song. Put this song down. But then somebody that actually creates music regularly might listen to that song and maybe not like the lyrics, but then they'll listen and they'll go, oh, well, I really like this drum bit. Oh, I really like this bass line. Oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I can do that in my music. I think that artists tend to look at art a little bit more sensitively from an appreciation standpoint. So if you're talking to an artist, regardless of what kind of music they make, they probably do like something that is like diametrically opposed to the thing that they make, just because they have a wider berth of the things that they're able to appreciate. If that makes sense. Isadora says, Omni, I was watching the stream yesterday and I didn't understand what you mean about people craving for some food in quarantine. Are you on quarantine? LA on quarantine? Hmm. Yes. A lot of Easy door. A lot of places are closed, so you can't go in and you can't go in and eat. You know, a lot of restaurants have closed up their doors because of the COVID-19 scare. They just don't want to deal with it, and so there's a lot of restaurants that are just closed. You can't go in. Some places, a lot of places in LA have their a lot of places in LA have their front door open, and they'll have something blocking the door, so you can go up to the front door and you can order from the front door. They will bring you your thing to go for takeout, or you can call them ahead, but you can't actually enter most establishments right now. And so yeah, a lot of people are missing certain foods. A lot of people are like, I really want spaghetti, but the only 4 spaghetti places in my town are closed. I can't go in and eat. There is a guy called Sizzy on SoundCloud, says Enigma, who makes dubstep, but also some of the most chill stuff I've ever heard. Yeah. That goes along with what I was saying. Enigma. People are not typically one-trick ponies. They just don't share the other thing. For example, Enigma. Hold on. I'm going to get to the bottom of this chat. I like this conversation, though. Enigma's bringing up some pretty good points. I got to go get paint thinner. Well, good luck, mans. I hope that the paint thinner is cheap and readily available, and I hope you don't have to wait in a line for about an hour like I did when I went to Home Depot. Hello, Nicholas. Okay, so, morning, Gabriel. So, Enigma. Most people that are making things do make a wide berth of things. We're human. Think about it, Enigma. You don't just like one color, right? If somebody said, maybe what's your favorite color, Enigma, maybe you would have an answer. Maybe you would say, I don't know, green. But that doesn't mean that everything in your closet is green. It doesn't mean everything you put on your feet is green. It doesn't mean that your house is green. There are other things that you appreciate and like and are able to express. Now, that being said, when people are an artist, regardless of if they're a musician, if they're a comedian, if they're a painter, if they're a writer, we don't just make one thing. It's almost impossible to just make one thing. Usually, what an artist or a creator would do is they'll share just one thing because they don't want to confuse an audience. For example, if you, Enigma, I don't know what of my music you've heard, but maybe you think I only make chill music because you haven't heard any of my aggressive music. So you go, Omni just makes really happy, fun, chill music. And then I want to get a following or I want to build a fan base off of that, I'll only share the chill music because if I feel like I share something aggressive, people will go, oh, I don't really like this. This isn't like the old stuff. This isn't like the other things. Yeah, it's most people, I would say like 80% of people don't share the other things that they do because they don't want to lose fans or upset their fans. I share everything I do. Not everything I do, but used to. I'm like every genre that I get passionate about, I'll share it. I'll just release like, oh, here's an ambient thing, here's a house thing, here's like a disco house thing, here's a chiptune thing, here's a dubstep thing, here's a drum and bass thing, here's a I'll share anything that I do, and it is jarring. It is jarring. Anywho, follow-up question, says Nicholas on the topic. Any musicians come to mind that are multifaceted? Tori Moz, Chaz comes to mind. High discography is pretty varied. So, what you're asking, you mean multifaceted as in like different art forms? Because you're mentioning somebody that was like a musician that's also a filmmaker. Are you talking about just going into different art forms? Is that what you're specifically talking about, Nicholas? Ugh. Did I play that? I didn't. I don't know. Um, multifaceted artist. Danger Mouse is pretty multifaceted. Um, most. Uh, Almost Deaf's pretty multifaceted. Common's multifaceted, a very talented actor that also is a really dope rapper and lyricist. And I mean, that's a huge circle, right? The huge circle of like musicians that are also really good at acting. There's people like Childish Gambino, very good actor, also a really really good musician. I would say that Lenny Kravitz is also a pretty good actor and musician. Um, if we're leaving just musicians and actors, there's people like Jason Derulo, who is a good lyricist and musician, and also a very good dancer, which people often tie together because you dance to music. But those two skill sets are not in any way complementary. You do have to work really hard at one to develop it, and separately work at the other one to develop it. I would say Jason Derulo is a really good writer, song maker, and dancer. And then there's a lot of people that also fall into that, right? Like there was Michael Jackson, there's like Chris Brown, there's a bunch of musicians who are really good at dancing. Multifaceted. Mm, 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 mm. There's going more personal. There's a friend of mine named Louis Zong. Louis Zong is multifaceted. He does animation. He was a storyboard artist on that show We Bare Bears, but he does a lot of animation and he also makes music very well. So I would say he's pretty multifaceted. Um, yeah. This is true, Liana. Yeah, you have to wear a mask when you go out. Yeah, here's the thing, Enigma, and also Nicholas, that was asking about this, as far as multifaceted. Hmm. Hmm. This isn't even a hot take. This is a lukewarm take, Nicholas. But something to keep in mind: anybody that's like putting out art. Ooh, who was that? Oh my God, Maniac Medusa. I didn't even see you in here. Thank you. Your song Gucci's amazing. I love it. Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate you. Thank you for the money. I can play those chords for you if you like. Hi, Audrey. Here's the thing, though, Nicholas and Enigma. Every artist right now is that multifaceted. Just think, I'm gonna tear down. I mean, it's going to be me because you're talking to me right now, so I'm going to tear down me. But this is going to be able to apply to Maddie. It's also going to apply to Enigma. This is going to apply to a lot of people, not even just in this stream, but just on the internet right now. When there's a big artist, right, an artist that we're seeing on TV and stuff like that, there is a team behind them that is helping them with everything from what they're saying in public to what they're wearing in public to this dance, this song, this, that, the other. I am a keyboard player, right? I'm a piano player. People think that being a piano player and being a songwriter or a producer, creator is the same thing, and it is not. Keyboard is a tool. You can do a lot of things. It's almost like just because you know how to use a hammer and tools doesn't necessarily make you a carpenter. Carpenter is like more somebody that's creating something, while as me just like hammering a nail into something, that's using the tool. So knowing how to play piano, there's a lot of people that know how to play piano that can't make a song. There's a lot of people that know how to make a song that can't play piano. Those are two completely different those are two facets, right? Those are two completely different skills. Now we group them together a lot because they both are under the umbrella of music, which is under the larger umbrella of art, but they're not the same. That is multifaceted, whether you want to believe or accept that or not, or allow that. Being able to play any instrument and also being able to make music. Now, let's say that those are two of the same. We lump them together. Being able to play a piano or a guitar and make a song is the same thing. Cool, fine. Also, there's Fruity Loops. I don't know if you've been inside of a production stream, but knowing how to work a DAW is completely separate from those two, right? Knowing how to work a DAW, it's literally a computer program. It's a computer program, so you have to learn all these different like new VSTs within it, these functions, these different parameters. It's like learning a new language, so you have to learn that. It's completely different from music theory. And then it's like I have to do social media, there's like a lot of promotion, there's marketing. My point that I'm making is every artist in 2020 has to kind of be multifaceted if they want to be able to do anything and they don't have a team. If you want to be able to post stuff online, like I taught myself how to do editing of videos. Like if you saw the video that I put up, what's it called? I put up a video called Home Is You on YouTube a couple days ago. It's a video that I shot and edited. Now, I mean, I shot it on my phone. I edited it in this program called HitFilm on my laptop. But my point is, that has nothing to do with making music, right? That's a completely different skill. There's a lot of people that know how to edit video but don't know how to make music. So I'm a multifaceted artist too, because I know how to shoot video, edit video, perform music, write music, produce music, mix music, master music, and then release music. Those are all completely different skills. There are people that get paid a lot to just do one of those things. And so, that being said, I'm not so special and different from most people on the internet right now. If you're looking at any other artist and there's somebody that, let's say they cook, I don't know, they cook and they have a cooking Instagram where they take photos of the food. Being able to take appetizing photos of food is a skill. I know a lot of people, maybe even in this chat, are going to like demean that, like, that's not really a skill. I do that all the time on my Instagram on my phone. No, there is a skill in there. There is a skill set to taking appetizing pictures of food. And also being able to cook, those are two different skills. Now this person has to also run a social media account, which is a different skill. I don't think there is such thing as being a single-faceted artist in 2020. I don't think that you can be. Unless you're working for a team or a giant corporation, I don't think you can be a solo artist and be single-faceted. I think you have to at least be good at like 3 things. It's just that we're so desensitized to being good at these things that we don't think of them as separate. But they are separate. Being funny is a thing. Like, being funny is a skill. I mean, comedian is a profession. It's a whole career point. So if you're looking at somebody who also is funny but then makes music, if you're looking at somebody like Thundercat, or you're looking at somebody like Reggie Watts, where it's like, oh, they're really funny but they're also very musically talented, that's multifaceted. Something to think about. So asking about any multifaceted artist in 2020, as you asked me, it's hard to name anybody who isn't, really. Yeah. Okay, for me. I like drawing and music making, so it's all good for me. Yeah. Word up. Retro says it's photography. Mushroom Tea says, I was listening the stream and I fell asleep. At least I woke up before the stream ends. Oh, well, I hope you got some rest. Some good rest. For better or for worse, all modern artists are sort of forced to become multifaceted. True, Maddie. True. It's a weird form of like internet Darwinism. Hello the Great, welcome to the stream and hello. Ava says, Louis Zong, Worthy are 2 animators who also write music and or stories, and being multi-talented blows my mind. Word up, Ava. We're all multi-talented. So are you, Ava. Everybody is. I think it's just easier to see somebody as being multi-talented when they are doing very well, right? So like Louis Zong is somebody that has had a very good career so far. Got to work on We Bear Bears. Their Twitter is like very, very nice. It's doing very, very well. So it's like easy for us to see somebody that's like successful and go like, oh wow, I can't believe all the talent in this person. Or like Worthy Kids. Worthy Kids does amazing animations and like music, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. This is incredible. But then somebody that has the same amount of whatever, same amount of like skills that are diversified, but they're just not doing really well, it's harder to see them, right? But every artist, every single artist that you're seeing on the internet is like that. They are. I'm working on being multi-talented. I'm a work in progress, says Ava. My Adobe Suite skills are off the charts, though. Need video editing, photoshopping, vector, I got you. See, you just named 3 different things. What are you talking about? A work in progress. You just named 3 things. 3 completely separate things that I cannot do that are not complementary to each other. I'm sure there's some transferable skills from photoshopping to video editing, but I know how to video edit a little bit, and I don't know how to Photoshop. We're garbage. So you are multifaceted. Pixel Piggy says, I just want someone to think I'm worth something. Word up, I'm sure somebody does. That didn't sound very convincing. Somebody definitely thinks you're worth something. Pixel Piggy. Do you remember that thing I played? That one? Wait. I don't understand this song. It sounds better in that weird, like, little, that, Bandonian? Is that how you pronounce that? Bandonian? Bandonian? Sounds better in that sound. I don't know what that where it comes from, but I guess my brain. But I don't know what to do with that. The little like tidbit. Find something you're interested in and do it a lot, says Cyber. Speaking about practice, sounds very French, says Liana. I'm very French, Liana. Well, not very. That's overstating it. I am a little French. It is a fun sound, isn't it, Isadora? Oh, a shanty. That's right. I think Cyber made that joke yesterday. It does sound like a freaking pirate shanty, doesn't it? What if I did a witchy and pirate shanty? I got a new laptop, says Ava, but it doesn't have HDMI ports. I haven't been able to use my tablet for over a month. Oh my god. Oh, you animate? That's like really cool. I wish I had invested more time in animation. I used to make Flash videos when I was in high school. I had a pirated copy of Adobe and I would make Flash videos, but it's over. That part of my life is over. Oh, thanks, Medusa. I'm glad you're in the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day also. Of course I did, Gabriel. Newgrounds is dope. If you were talking to me, anyway. I love that one. I love the transition of I love it because it like to me that the second cadence sounds dark. I don't know, creepy. It sounds like sad. No, not sad. Looming. Like if the pirates turned into ghosts. Oh, that's Pirates of the Caribbean, isn't it? That's from Pirates of the Caribbean. dope. And then yeah, I like that. Overwatch. Overwatch. This belongs in Sea of Thieves. Ugh. Wait, was that the one I liked? No, that's the thing I haven't played, Nicholas. I was thinking of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but I would like to play a pirate game. Oh, I love pirates. I just love pirates. Enigma says, it refers to how you end a piece, I believe. There is a finished and unfinished cadences. Ah. What is a cadence, says Gabriel. Oh, yeah, pirates are dope. A cadence is a sequence of chords. A cadence is a sequence of chords. And then a chord progression is a chain of sequences of chords. A chord a chord progression is a grouping of chords in a row. So that is a chord progression. A cadence is a like a chunk of oh my god. Oh my god. Think of a chord progression as a sentence and a cadence as a word. You can use a certain word in a bunch of different sentences, and it can change the way the sentence works, but it's still the same word. The word is context based. If you think about context based. Ooh, oh, I love this conversation. Who brought us here? Who took us here? Was it Nicholas? Who brought us here? I think it was Gabriel. Okay, so melodic configuration and creates a sense of resolution. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so sometimes, actually a lot of times, I will use a cadence to end a chord progression. It's supposed to resolve, right? A cadence is supposed to resolve to some degree. So here's a cadence. Very popular one. A very popular one in music in general. Not necessarily played exactly like that, but it's a very popular cadence. This is one version of it. Here's another version of it. Here's another version of it. Yeah, there's a bunch. But it's a very popular cadence. You can throw it around in music wherever you want it to be. But and it's kind of ends. You can kind of hear how it like resolves into an end. But sometimes I will, instead of ending a chord progression like that, I will start a chord progression with that cadence. So I'll go. Yeah, you can throw them around anywhere. But something really fun to play with that I've started doing more so recently is taking a chunk of my chord progression and repeating it at a different key, moving it up or down, repeating it. So like on Winter Heart. So like is exactly this. It's just moved down. Also, when Love Letters does that too. Love Letters goes. the same thing lower. Same 4 chords, just scoot it down a little bit. Also, 78 to Downtown does it. And it does again. Sorry. Does it again. Ooh, I forgot my song. I just can't play it slow, that's the problem. I don't know how to play that song slow. That's 1. 1. That's 2. Then I drop it again. Anyways, Audrey says, so bass line is cadence. No, bass line isn't cadence. Although there are bass line cadences. So a destination from the whole to end a part of a piece. Yeah. Oh crap. Oh, we're getting too deep. It does get really deep, Cyber. The way I'm using cadence is to talk about a grouping of chords that resolves or has like a specific feel. Because if you just play like, no, that does it too. But a cadence is just a grouping of chords that has a certain feel. If you listen to most of my songs, especially like Signals era, like jazzy songs, this is a cadence. This cadence, you can repeat that a bunch of times. And you can even raise it up. Yeah. Yes. And so I will use cadences and I'll pitch shift them. Like if I was in Fruity Loops, I would just take the MIDI and like scoot it up or scoot it down. Except I'm doing that with my hands on the piano. So Winter Heart becomes and Love Letters this. Is that Love Letters? Scoot it down one becomes this. Also, I'll do it in very, very small ways in the middle of a song. Like the song that I'm working on right now. This one. That is the chord progression, right? But then the second time I play it, I do this. So it goes from to. See it kind of make any sense? If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it because by stream or morning medley number 122, I'm just gonna repeat myself anyway. But I do like music theory isn't really my forte either, Miley Maddie. What I'm talking about is not really what's the word? Oh, you're making a joke, Maddie. It's what I'm talking about. If there's somebody in here that knows a lot about music theory would be laughing at me right now because what I'm saying is just basically nonsense. It's like really like a two-dimensional music theory. I don't know. But I know that that is a key shift. Songs where I'll play the entire hook and I will shift it. Like for Double Lutz, there's that. And that is actually very, very difficult for me. And that's why doublets I will mess up occasionally. Um, and Enigma says at the end of the day, it's what sounds good, that's what matters, not your ability to over explain terms and meanings. True. True, Enigma. That's all that matters. Um, and on that point, I do have a new song out called The View. Please listen to it. Oh, I forgot about that chord progression. No. I forgot what the chord that comes after that is. There it is. Oh, I do remember this song. Oh my god, I do! Whoa, that's so weird. My hands just knew that song. I didn't even know where I was going, but all the notes ended up being right. That's really weird. Wow, that's so weird. Sorry. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read the chat. Um, wow. Yeah, Retro's right. Make sure you like the video. That's so weird. This is true, Isidore. Isidore makes a really good point. A point that I like to live and die on. Oh. You're right, Enigma. I mean, demotivating is relative, right? We're all motivated and unmotivated by different things. How am I doing that? That is so weird. It's muscle memory is what it is, but like sometimes, I mean that's how I remember Clover Salad. Sometimes if I just start playing a song, especially if I played a lot in the stream, I don't know what's coming next. Like mentally, my brain doesn't know how the song goes, but my hands just like know where to go next, and I'm like, it's weird. It's weird feeling that separated from your own body. Nemo says, I get it, but I'm sure you would rather be able to play it than just draw it, all the notes, and drag them. It just makes you feel more involved. I understand what Enigma's saying. Having a lot of theoretical knowledge and then jumping into like maybe Fruity Loops and being able to pick all the right chords, you know, and the right cadences and, you know, the right arrangements is different than being able to actually play a piano. Absolutely. I think that playing piano and being able to make music or arrange music are two different skills that I have worked on separately, right? And so if I start making a song on Fruity Loops, sometimes they won't even be playable on the piano because I have a certain skill set on arranging MIDI. And then when I'm playing something on piano, I will play chords that I would never pick out on Fruity Loops just because they look weird in MIDI. Like it looks weird to hit this. This chord looks super weird in Fruity Loops, but on piano, it feels right and natural. Something to think about. My hands do have really weird good memory, Isidora, most of the time. Most of the time. think it's because I play piano the same way. I haven't actually like grown. I haven't had a huge growth spurt as a musician in a really long time. So a lot of my songs are built around the same core values, the core omni values, my same building blocks. So usually, if I can figure out the first few chords, I can kind of figure out where I was going to go after that. Do you often use quantization on FL though? Says Audrey. That's a very good question. That is more complicated than you're making it out to be, because quantization is, sorry, my laptop's gonna die, so I'm just plugging the baby in. Quantization is something that, think of quantization, Audrey, as a tool. We're all using tools here. Welcome to my factory. Piano is a tool. Is there piano in all of my songs? Absolutely not. If you listen through Nice Dream, Love Dream, most of Speed Dream, do not have pianos in them. Not nary a hint of piano. And that's because it is just a tool and you use it where it fits, and if it doesn't fit, you don't force it. Leanna's got to go, so I want to take a little pause when I'm saying and say goodbye, Leanna. Thank you for being on the stream. I'm glad that I was able to play Double Lutz while you were still on here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday, which is what today is. Have a good one. Back to what I was saying, though. Bye, Leanna. Back to what I was saying. It's a tool, Audrey. Quantization is a tool. So if I'm making, say, a disco house record, I'm probably going to want my drums to be quantized because I want to get that. I want to get it nice and clean. Something very clear to build a song on, the clear foundation. If I'm making a lo-fi hip-hop record, probably not going to want quantization because you want that kind of loose, jazzy feel. If I'm going to be making something like Signals, if you listen to Signals, there's not a lot of quantization happening on the piano, so the piano will fall in and out of time because I want it to sound like a jazz ensemble, which, if you're listening to a jazz ensemble, yes, they have good timing because they're skilled musicians, but they're not computers, so there is going to be kind of like a little bit of a wiggle room falling in and out of time. So if you're asking me if I use quantization on Fruity Loops, it depends on what I'm doing. It depends on what genre I'm making. It depends on what the song calls for. Typically, for things like my videos, if you've looked at my videos, like for the Quarantine series, a lot of those keyboard parts aren't quantized because they are waveforms, and I don't quantize waveforms. I only feel comfortable or confident quantizing MIDI. Sorry if this is getting a little heady for some of the people that don't know the difference between a waveform and MIDI, but the point is, when you're looking at those videos, that's not quantized. I'm just playing that live. But the drums, they're going to be quantized because if you've seen my sequencer, if you look at my videos, you'll see a little sequencer. It's got like 16, like 4 rows of 16 little squares that I punch in my drums in when I'm programming drums. But that is quantized, just by nature because it is a grid. So, said all that to say, Audrey, sometimes I use quantization, sometimes I do not. It just really depends on what the recipe calls for. Gabriel says, I think I have some parts of your practice by instinct to this point where you don't. I think having some parts of your practice by instinct to the point where you don't have to think about them allows you to think about other things. True. That is when it kind of slips into becoming meditative instead of intentional, right? Like if I'm a song that has become meditative for me is Spring Street. Some of you may have noticed in the stream that if I have a very difficult question to answer, or I'm going over some like new talking point, that is going to take a little bit of my mental energy, but I want to play something so it's not silent in the background, I'll usually play Spring Street because it's a song I've played so often that it just naturally comes out of me. If I'm going to be talking about something like we're talking about right now, something really kind of complicated or more in-depth, I'm not going to play something like Double Lutz because it's going to be a lot harder to play. Even now I'm already messing up. Enigma says, I am sure you know this, Omni. Okay. But if you got a 4 on the floor, having the snare clap not perfectly quantized, several micros say this allows for more of a kick snare not to clash so much. Enigma, yes. I guess you haven't been in any of my production streams, because yeah, I do that in all my production streams. Actually, if you just listen to my music, you'll hear that happening. So, yes, maybe that's good information for somebody else in the stream. But yeah, that's a thing I've been doing for a few years now. There's like an auto quantization for when you're doing live, and is there an auto quantization for when you're doing live? I thought lo-fi used quantization for, oh. Whoa, yeah, Audrey. First of all, lo-fi hip hop, like classic lo-fi hip hop. Hmm. Y'all ready for a history lesson? Classic lo-fi hip hop is made with something called an Akai MPC. If you look up an Akai MPC on the internet, it's got little drum pads. If you're doing a lot of drum padding things in and you're recording it in an analog way, there's no way to actually quantize things that are recorded analog, or at least no reliable way to quantize that's being connected. So if you look at an Akai MPC, people are drumming that stuff live. So if you're listening to lo-fi hip hop, you're typically hearing music that isn't quantized, or was quantized and was intentionally scooted or shoved or slid or pushed a few microseconds off of the actual grid in order to sound unquantized. Sometimes people will punch things in to a grid and then manually shift it to make it sound unquantized instead of actually drumming things in live. So if you're listening to lo-fi music, typically you're listening to stuff that's not super quantized, and you're asking, is there a way to like auto quantize when you're playing live, when you're doing live? You said, I don't know exactly what you mean by doing live. I assume you're not talking about a YouTube live, what I'm doing right now. But yes, there is a way to play into a DAW and have things auto quantize, especially if you're doing it in MIDI. In fact, I've made the mistake a lot of times where when I'm moving around the Fruity Loops program, if you don't use Fruity Loops, this isn't going to make a lot of sense. When I'm moving around the Fruity Loops program, I have snap set to bar so that I can move and arrange faster and be precise. But then when it comes to recording MIDI, sometimes I'll forget to take that bar thing off and I'll play a bunch of notes, like a bunch of notes in a measure, and it'll quantize every single note I've played to the very front of the bar, the like 4-bar loop. So yeah, there is a way to get auto quantization when you're playing live. I just don't like using it unless maybe I'm doing drums. Maybe I'll do like an auto quantize to like a 64th note just to make sure, like, because I'm okay with being a little bit off the line, but like I want to be, you know, in the neighborhood. So maybe I'll do something small like that. Okay, I've checked up on your stuff for quite a while, says Enigma, talking about not having been in the production stream. But yeah, I do the production stream, and I do unquantize the drums. Kid James is pretty late, but we have almost had a 2-hour stream, so we're still able to see Kit James in the stream. Hello, Kit. I hope you had a good rest or whatever's going on in your world today. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Um, word. I don't know who mentioned Little Texas, but Cyber's talking about Little Texas now. You know about the issue of people using the term lo-fi as a way to make their poor mixes masters seem acceptable, says Enigma. Oh, let's not do that. Let's not crack on those people. Here's the thing. Here's what I feel. And so it's neither on that side and it's not on the I'm just gonna call things lo-fi for poor mixing. Here's what it is, the long and short of it. Mixing doesn't matter that much. Now, do you want your song to be listenable? Do you want it to be bearable? Like, obviously, I can mix a song to where, even if it's a good song, I can mix it to where it's just laughably unenjoyable, right? If you like EQ out all the lows so it sounds like it's coming through a tin can the entire time, yeah, maybe it's not great. But you can also have a song stuck in some type of mixing purgatory where you're trying to get this perfect plastic, crystal clear, like Z level, dead mouse level, like everything is hitting exactly where it should be. You can do that. My argument, Enigma, especially since we were talking about multifaceted artists earlier in this very stream, a lot of people aren't mixing engineers, right? And on top of that, a lot of classic lo-fi, Enigma, I don't know your lo-fi like track record, and I'm not condescending anyone, but a lot of like the classic real lo-fi, where lo-fi hip-hop came from, because a lot of the stuff now that's being called lo-fi hip-hop is not lo-fi hip-hop. It's like a weird newer version of real lo-fi hip-hop is poorly mixed. That's just its bare bones. That's where it comes from. That's like its origin. And so somebody calling something lo-fi, or like this is a lo-fi mix, I actually understand them doing that. Now, if somebody doesn't have the skill set to mix something and they mix it poorly and they just call it lo-fi, I'm kind of indifferent about that because I feel like mixing in a song isn't necessarily the thing that jumps out at me as this is a good song. I care a lot about like chords, melody. I care about like, oh, is this something I want to hit play on again? I'm not really there for the mixing and mastering so much. And so there have been some songs that I've put out that had I actually sent it into a mastering house and had like an expensive professional master done. And then there's been songs that I've just EQ'd in Free Loops and like put a compressor on, put a limiter on, and then I just put that baby out on Spotify and SoundCloud because I think that it's important to experience a range of different mixing styles. But I don't think that it's in my wheelhouse and skill set to from my bedroom and computer put out a song that is mixed and mastered to the level of like a Calvin Harris song. But if you listen to Calvin Harris's first album called I Created Disco, it's an amazing album by the way. If you listen to that album, a lot of those songs are extremely poorly mixed, but they're still the Calvin Harris songs I go back and listen to because they're extremely well arranged and written. Mixing is an extra. It's the sprinkles on the cake, but I care more about the bread than I do the sprinkles, I suppose. Jessica says, hi, from Kiwi's mom. Oh, Kiwi and mom? Oh, hello. How you doing? Wow, right at the end of the stream. I gotta close this stream, but thank you for being here. Lots of neo-hip-hop art. Ooh, neo-hip-hop. I like that. Lots of neo-hip-hop artists don't know what lo-fi stands for, low fidelity. Yeah, exactly. That's its thing. That's its thing. I don't know what they think it stands for. Low finance? I'm a low finance artist if that's what lo-fi stands for. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay. We gotta start getting some clarity and some I've mentioned Zed enough in this room today. We gotta start getting some now there's no other word I can use. We gotta start getting some clarity in the stream so we can start wrapping things up. So we've all made some very good points. People had some very good questions. Oh, I can't start doing that yet. There is a... Oh, thanks, Nicholas. Oh, I hope you have a good day at work. Oh, what a nice thing. You bought me bread today. You have purchased me bread. Ugh, bread. God, I love bread. So many different types of bread. Okay, I have a new song out called The View. Please listen to it. My friend listens to it, and now I think it's a good song again. Do you ever put out something or you do something on your own, and you think, it's whatever, I did it. But then just one person, it just takes one person that you know personally coming to you and going like, hey, this was really good. And then all of a sudden you think it's good. You like wear your shirt to like a party and one of your homies is like, yo, that shirt's dope. And then you're like, I guess the shirt is kind of dope, isn't it? And then you see it differently from that point on, like you like it more. Anyways, I have a new song called The View, and my friend liked it, so now I like it a little bit more. So go listen to that. I also have 2 EPs. One of them is called Ego Death. It's ambient music. The other one is called Quick Breath, and it's like upbeat, like house, but like upbeat in like 125 to 130 BPM range. Talk about multifaceted artists, I suppose. There are a lot of really talented artists that are featured on it, like Abby Press, Mia Gladstone, Only Tom, Young Skirt, and several more. Go listen to that. It's available on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. While you're on YouTube, I did upload a new video to YouTube yesterday, 2 days ago. I uploaded a new video 2 days ago called Home Is You. It's part of my Quarantunes series. Once a week, I make a song in my room, and then I edit a quick little like fun video for it. I say edit a quick little video, but those videos do take me several days to edit, so just know it is not just a wham bam thank you ma'am thing. It does take a little bit of my time. So I edited the video and then I put it up on Tuesday. We just did Quarantine number 3. It was Honeydew, French Lavender, and now the most recent one is called Home Is You, and I've already finished the one that's going up next week. And that's what's going on as far as news. As far as tours, shows, and merch and stuff like that, there's still no news on that. I kind of would like to wait until we can find some normalcy in the country again before I start really trying to go like heavy on like, oh, Omni's career is back on the rails. Right now I'm just trying to chill and allow myself to do so. Okay. Well, okay then. I think that covers it. By Kiwi by association. Thank you for being in the stream too, Gabriel, and also thank you for your questions. I'm torn in the streams because it's like I could spend the entire stream just playing piano and not really doing much talking, which I've done before. Or I can spend the entire stream doing talking and not playing, which I've also done, and also it kind of feels wrong. So I'm glad that you guys ask questions when you can, because it keeps me from falling into a piano hole. Why is Windows annoying you, Enigma? Well, maybe we'll talk about another instrument next. Thank you for answering. It's very educational. The discussion is really interesting. Thank you for adding to it, both of you. Maddie is hitting us with the alliteration theoretical Thursday. I might actually look up some, I don't know, music theory today. Maybe that'll be my contribution to theoretical Thursday. Maddie, it's really badly optimized, crashes and stuff like that. Oh, dang, I'm sorry. Melodica stream. Oh, I don't know where my melodica is. I don't know where it is. I might have thrown it away. I don't know. I can't remember. Thank you, everybody, for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I am going to finish what is now a disgustingly warm fruit smoothie and probably make some breakfast and then get to video editing. I have to shoot some more stuff, actually. What time is it? 11? I have to shoot some stuff, so while I still have daylight, it's 11 a.m. on me. While I still have daylight, I gotta shoot some stuff because I'm making a new video. I'm making the video that's going to be uploaded in 2 weeks from now. Eat some yummy foods, drink water. I will, Maddie. I just bought some water, so I will be very, very well hydrated today. Thank you. Again, thank you everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. It's the internet, so that doesn't happen too often. I hope you enjoy whatever Thursday you guys got planned. Stay safe, and I will see you here tomorrow for the last stream of the week, 116. Morning Medley, 116. Abo, everybody.